next 4 days, we're going to hear from the leaders of our country and the future of our party. We're going to unite and we're going to make history. And we're going to do everything we can to elect Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine. Hillary Clinton, this is your time. This is our time. Delegates, Democrats, let the convention begin. And may I just make a point? May I just make a point? There are many of you that do not know me in this room. But let me say to you, I intend to be fair. I want to hear the varying opinions here. I am going to be respectful of you, and I want you to be respectful of me. We are all Democrats, and we need to act like it. Let's do it. The rules of the convention allow me as chair to appoint other officers to assist in the orderly conduct.
People, you say power, people! People! You say power, people! People, you say power!
Laura Ricketts.
People!
Representative Alicia Reese. Senator Claire McCaskill.
You say power,
Representative Doris Matsui. Chad Griffin. Doug McCarran. The Honorable Alexis Padilla. Representative Jim Clyburn. Senator Richard Blumenthal. Louis Elrod. Secretary and friend Mayor Stephanie Rollins Blake. Parliamentarians, Representative Steny Hoyer, lead parliamentarian. Helen McFadden. Senator Karen Carter Peterson. The Honorable Alexis Herman. Harold Eichels. Kevin O'Keefe. Sergeant at Arms, Representative John Lewis. Assistant Sergeant at Arms, Senator Tammy Baldwin. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee. Gary Morrow. Mayor Ross Baraka. Terry O'Sullivan. Doorkeeper Mignon Moore. Timekeeper Marissa Richmond. Each of these convention officials is dedicated to strengthening their communities and our country. They share Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine's positive vision for change and will be important messengers for the campaign moving forward. We would now bring back for the completion of the rules report for procedural rules and agenda the chairs, Barney Frank and Mr. Pute.
On Saturday, the 182 members of the Rules Committee, fairly reflecting the delegates elected to the convention according to their preferences, spent 7 hours in a fully open debate of every aspect of the rules that anyone wished to bring up, and voted overwhelmingly for a final report, which you will hear later. I now report the agenda and procedural rules for the convention. To be clear, there is a report about what will happen after this convention that you will hear about very shortly. My report is of the agenda of the convention and of the rules that will govern the conduct of business in this convention. And I report again, they were fully debated, with no question about anyone's right to offer any amendment or make any debate being repressed. And we now present these rules, which will result in a fully open and small d democratic as well as big D democratic conduct of the convention. Madam Chair, I present those parts of the committee's report from Saturday.
Thank you very much, Barney Frank, for presenting the agenda and the procedural rules of the convention as amended by the Rules Committee. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the agenda and procedural rules of the 2016 Democratic National Convention. Do I hear a second? Pursuant to our rules, we will now have a voice vote on approving our agenda and procedural rules of the 2016 Democratic National Convention. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The chair determines that the ayes have it. We will now hear the unity report.
Good afternoon. I'm Leticia Vandepute, a seventh-generation Texan, and my grandmothers were born in Mexico, and they would have been so proud to see me standing here today. Co-chair of the 2016 Democratic National Convention Rules Committee. She would have been, my grandmothers would have been so proud. And I also get to work with Barney Frank. More than 2 centuries ago, a group of courageous individuals gathered at Independence Hall a few blocks from here to give birth to our great country and a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And for my abuelitas, they knew that in this United States of America, the most meaningful title that anyone could ever hold is the title citizen. And my memo, my abuelita, my memo, became a citizen at age 68, and her proudest day was the day when she cast her first vote. And as Democrats, we must do everything we can to ensure that our party carries on this tradition that makes us stronger as a country. So we are proposing the creation of the Unity Reform Commission. This commission has won overwhelming support from all members of the Rules Committee. And together, we're going to see what's working, we're going to see what's not working, and we're going to work together to build a stronger Democratic Party. Reflects true democratic values and our unwavering belief in our representative democracy. And we're going to open up our democratic process so that the grassroots always has a seat at the table. We're going to ensure that our party hears every voice and empowers every person with a chance to contribute. And so to all the activists, to the organizers, to the officials and the volunteers and las familias and community leaders out there, we hear you. We respect you. And this Unity Commission will work for you to build a thriving, growing Democratic Party today, tomorrow, and for generations to come. Muchísimas gracias. Please.
There will be two speakers on the Unity Report, one representing the Clinton campaign and one representing the Sanders campaign.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Wellington Webb from Colorado.
Hi, I'm Wellington Webb, the former mayor of Denver, Colorado, an at-large member of the Rules Committee, and a longtime supporter of Hillary Clinton. Yesterday, I was proud to take part in the establishment of the Unity Reform Commission, which was formed in collaboration between the Clinton campaign and the Sanders campaign and the DNC. The commission is made up of representatives from both campaigns and the Democratic National Committee, and it is charged with assessing and improving our party's presidential nominating process. Now, specifically focusing in on superdelegates, caucuses, and strategies for opening up our system even more.
Profiting from prisons with enacting the three strikes you're out law.
Recommendations for the DNC rules and the bylaws committee no later than January 1st, 2018. And if adequate action taken within 6 months, the commission will present recommendations before
The whole world is watching. The whole world is watching. The whole world
I was right where the cops told me to be, so I'm like, okay, you know what? Fine, fuck it, I'll film right here. And then he starts pointing at me, saying, "Arrest this guy, he's behind police lines." I'm like, dude, that was personal.
Yeah.
No other cop was even paying attention to me, and he totally made it personal for no reason. Then he saw me later on in the park and was like, "What's the deal, Z? You know, we've been working together 2 years." Like, we've never worked together. We've been working against each other for 2 years, man. What's your name?
Wes, man.
Wes John.
John, nice to meet you.
Yes.
Alright, well, I mean, I'll fucking
Do
get
it.
my head on.
Do it, man. All right, I'm looking forward to that footage. He was just saying he got, when I was arguing with Rossomano in Cleveland.
Doesn't have to come from.
Jacob.
I don't even need Christmas.
The marchers definitely enjoying the open hydrants today. It is hot, and now the sun is coming back out in full force. Fortunately, we're in a little bit of a shade between buildings right now.
All that bullshit driving nigga crazy. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down.
People for Bernie? Yeah, just like pan the crowd. Just hold it like this? No, pan the crowd. Like point the
Compromise.
This plan, and it is a plan, gives us the opportunity to champion a variety of great election reforms, including reducing the number of superdelegates by a full 2/3. That is written right into the Commission's charter. I want to be clear. We did not win this by selling out. We won this by standing up. We did this. We won this by standing together. You are so beautiful right now. Since we led the way in Maine, right over there, Democrats in nearly 20 states, most through their local conventions, have voted to reform the superdelegate system. 20 states! On top of that, more than 750,000 progressives have signed petitions calling for serious structural reform. And we're doing it! We're doing it because we are the party of democracy. We are the party of the 99%, the downtrodden, the forgotten, the working class. Exactly, not for sale. We are fighting to make reforms. We won because Democrats from a very small but very mighty state, Maine, threaded a tight needle to stand for real change against all odds. We won because Democrats across the country organized in our home states. And we won because our Rules Committee members stayed at the table. We won't vote for Hillary! Hell no, DNC! 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 We this United States. Whether you support Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton, we are all in this together, and we will all have a voice in the Clinton administration. We can work together on so much. And despite any differences we may hold, we all know in our heart of hearts a Donald Trump presidency. System is the path to making sure that our party is the strongest party, not just in this fall, but for the generations to come. Thank you.
Delegates, you have heard speakers from the Clinton and Sanders campaigns speak in favor of the unity report recommended for approval by the Rules Committee. The chair will entertain a motion to approve these other proposals as recommended for your approval by the Convention Rules Committee. Do I hear a second? Pursuant to our convention rules, we will now have a voice vote on approving the unity report and other proposals as recommended by the Rules Committee. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, no. The chair determines that the ayes have it. As the permanent chair of the 2016 convention, it gives me great pleasure to introduce a fellow member of Congress from Maryland and my dear friend, convention parliamentarian Steny Hoyer. Please welcome Congressman Steny Hoyer.
Thank you, Maryland. Good evening, fellow Democrats and fellow Americans. I'm so proud to be addressing you here in America's first capital, the home of Independence Hall, the Superdelegates! Hey, 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 goodbye! Superdelegates! Superdelegates! Hey, 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 goodbye! Superdelegates! Superdelegates! Hey, 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 goodbye! Everybody! He had a Democratic Congress that was committed to doing the job and rescuing our economy. Thank you. Millions of Americans worked hard, tightened their belts.
And so now, because of that, the march has spread out throughout the street. It was much tighter packed earlier. Which is not an issue for a march like this, especially with the way the cops are reacting. All it does is really just stretch out the march, shut down traffic longer.
This oligarchy has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! This oligarchy has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! This oligarchy has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! This oligarchy has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! This oligarchy has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! This oligarchy has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. I say Bernie, you say Sanders. Bernie, Sanders. Bernie, Sanders. I say Bernie, you say Sanders. Bernie, Sanders. Bernie, Sanders. How is this not out?
Yes.
We are running together, as the previous speaker pointed out, to renew faith in government and help all our people make it in America. Ladies and gentlemen, in his speech to the Republican convention last week, Speaker Ryan said that this election comes down to a contest of ideas. He's right. But we've seen the disastrous results of Republican ideas. And we've seen what they can do to our economy and to our security. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, all of us, those who supported Sanders, those who supported Clinton, those who supported my Governor O'Malley, all of us must work together for our country and elect Hillary Clinton, President of the United States.
Co-chairs, I'm the first vice chair. We're recruiting all these people.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Platform Drafting Committee Chair, Representative Elijah Cummings from Maryland.
Madam Chair, honored delegates, and my fellow Democrats. I stand before you today not as a congressman from the inner city of Baltimore, but as a son of former sharecroppers whose parents started on a farm.
That I've seen is that people are really upset.
No water, no toilet, but who believed in education and taught their children the value of helping others. My father, the late Robert Cummings, a man who left school after the 4th grade to plow the fields and to pick the cotton. He was one of the smartest people I've ever known. He said, son, the test of a man is not how much he helps himself. The true test is whether he helps those less fortunate. He would say, son, you go to school to get blessed so you can bless. And that is the standard by which he measured me growing up, and is the standard by which I still measure myself. And it's the standard we Democrats use today. I stand before you because my parents saw promise in their 7 children. But my parents did not do it alone. No one does it alone. It was our Democratic Party that pushed open the doors of opportunity for me and for millions of children all across this great country. It was our party that fought for Head Start and good schools and made college affordable and championed affirmative action and school desegregation, that passed Social Security and Medicare, that defended our nation abroad, fought for our veterans back home, that protected the rights and the pensions of our workers, and that made the dream of home ownership possible for millions of American families. Yes, it still is our Democratic Party that championed civil rights and voting rights and voting rights. It's we Democrats who fully understand that when you take away a person's right to vote, you take away their ability to shape and determine their own destiny. And it was, and it is, our Democratic Party that fights for women's rights, gay rights, the LGBTQ rights. Our party does not just believe, but understands that Black lives matter. But we also recognize that our communities and our law enforcement work best when they work together. Our party knows that diversity is not our problem, but it is our promise. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, that's why ours is a party of unity and not division. I'm proud that our party's platform will help not the wealthy, not the 1%, but instead it will help our struggling middle class, our working families, the disadvantaged and the disabled. It will help the less fortunate. Our platform has passed my father's test, and it has done so not by seeking common ground, but aspiring to higher ground. It envisions a nation where we do not merely increase the minimum wage, but we enact a living wage. It envisions a nation in which we eliminate the death penalty, because we as Democrats, we value every life, black, white, Asian, every life. It envisions a nation where we do not have to choose between protecting the environment and creating jobs, but where we can defend our planet against global warming, while at the same time enacting policies that foster job creation, incentivize new startups, and bring expatriates.
Medicare for all! 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 Medicare for all!
Thank you.
And sometimes I see my father. I know tonight he's smiling on all of us. And he, like me, is proud.
That was representative I was speaking to, Mark. Really, I'm not sure who's actually speaking right now. I missed that. Amazing progressive. Really happy to see what's going to come from him. And you can see the no TPP signs everywhere.
With a fourth grade education, with a mind full of wisdom and common sense, was standing here with us tonight. I know he would be proud of all of you. And he would say these words, that this election is bigger than Hillary Clinton, bigger than and it's my father. That brilliant man with a fourth grade education, with a mind full of wisdom and common sense. And he would say these simple words, you are blessed, so you can bless others. Go out there and vote and don't stop lifting up the American people. May God bless. May God bless.
Bernie Camp is taking over the floor.
Just 7 short weeks ago, the process for drafting the party platform began. Lady City. Meeting in Washington, D.C. and Phoenix, Arizona, the 15-member platform drafting committee led by Congressman Elijah Cummings held 30 hours.
It was Elijah Cummings. That's who was
I was
speaking.
so proud to stand behind President Obama when he announced new executive actions aimed at narrowing the loopholes in our laws that make it easy for dangerous people to get their hands on guns.
Nabisco built the largest cookie and cracker production facility in the world in Mexico. My employer never expressed to me or any of my coworkers that they were concerned about our future or the future of our families.
The voices of those who have experienced poverty firsthand must be heard and included in our country's government and in our policies. We work, struggle, save, but it's nothing.
My employer never expressed to me or any of my coworkers that they were concerned about our future or the future of our families.
The voices of those who have experienced poverty firsthand must be heard and included in our country's government and in our policies. We work, struggle, save, but it's never enough.
The committee, including representatives from the Clinton and Sanders campaigns, heard 114 witnesses advocate for important positions for inclusion in the Democratic Party platform.
If we're looking at 118 years for women to be able to be paid fairly, we need to make a radical change.
This will be the first presidential election since Ms. Hamer spoke out more than 50 years ago without the full protections of the Voting Rights Act.
As a person of color and an immigrant, I know we are especially resilient. That's why we are here. But we need to present our children with more than survival. This is why I ask today that as you develop your plans for the future, make climate change mitigation and adaptation a top priority.
Fighting for the middle class, innovation, job creation, economic fairness, removing barriers to full opportunity in our society.
combating climate change, making our government more accountable to the people, and so much more.
Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are quite progressive. Engaging and organizing our community is critical to securing equity and justice for all Americans.
Next stop, St. Louis, the drafting committee meeting. With instruction from Chairman Cummings to seek higher ground, the committee deliberated over the issues and positions for this year's party platform.
In the words of Beyonce, there are a lot of folks working 9 to 5 just to stay alive.
After a long day of discussion and some spirited debate, the drafting committee voted to advance its work to the whole platform committee.
We got some great stuff in the platform that's never been there before. I will therefore vote to pass it on in hopes that the conversation continues in Orlando.
I've enjoyed being part of this process. We've made some substantial moves forward. If we're going to try to make this world a better place, then we got to be able to say we're in favor of something.
My gosh, I hope we really recognize the wonderful work that has been done here and move forward and embrace this, and let's move on and win this election.
Finally, Orlando. More than 180 members of the Platform Committee came together from across our diverse party to affirm our vision of how to help make America even better.
I stand here tonight. I am so proud of the Democratic Party. I am proud of the Hillary Clinton campaign. I am proud of the Sanders campaign for ending in a unity amendment like this. This is about what America is going to be. This is a pivotal moment in our history.
The Platform Committee made hundreds of changes and amendments to the draft they received.
This is a moment that shows who the Democratic Party is. A party of people, a party of passion.
In the end, the Platform Committee came together in spirit of unity and progress
Anyway, but
for the future
your
of our
Facebook
country.
Live stuff has been great.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am so proud to be a Democrat tonight.
About our country in the next 4 days. All right, thank you. Back on the chase.
Thank you. That was Jim Rudenberg.
I want to thank Hillary Clinton. And I look forward to electing the first woman president of the United States of America.
The document they created, aspirational, positive, and future-oriented, is our 2016 Democratic National Committee platform.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podium Platform Committee co-chairs Shirley Franklin from Georgia and Governor Dan Malloy from Connecticut.
As co-chair of the Platform Committee, I am proud to present the Platform Committee report. As a Democrat, I am privileged to be here at this momentous and historic occasion, honoring our party's legacy and standing on the shoulders of giants. I can't help but be reminded of Congresswoman Barbara Jordan, the first Black woman to give a keynote address at the Democratic Convention. In 1996, she asked,
Is it a challenging time right now for the party?
No, I don't believe so. We'll get through this.
Do you feel, what do you think about the superdelegate reform that was just talked about on the stage?
Don't know anything about it. I have to wait till I see it.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time. What was your name?
Dan Holman.
Holman?
Homan.
Thank you so much, sir. Dan was being a little bit short and coy with his answers. He says they're going to get through this. The party will get through this. He's a Hillary supporter. He's not concerned. But he didn't want to go into too much detail about any of it.
It's a bold vision for working families, social justice, and the continued prosperity and security of our country. And it is reflective of our
Let's see if we can chat with any other delegates here on the floor. If anyone has a question for a delegate, please send it in. If there's a particular delegate that you'd like me to stop and chat with, let me know. This is your opportunity to engage with any delegate on this floor right now in a very historic moment. So as soon as anybody sends in a question or asks me to do something, I will do so. If there's a particular state that you'd like me to visit, a delegation you'd like me to visit, let me know and I will go. I'm wandering the grounds again of the convention floor. We have delegates up here from New Hampshire.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Paul Booth from the District of
South Carolina over here. Dan Johnston. We've been speaking with California delegates all evening. They've been making quite a ruckus. They've booed Hillary every time she's mentioned on stage. They're concerned about TPP. So we're trying to find new people to talk to. So we have, some people are asking, Minnesota, New Hampshire. Okay, someone said New Hampshire, and since we're so close to New Hampshire, I think I may just go ahead and do that. Oh, Mark Edwards makes a good point. Visit swing states, please. Florida, Ohio. Let's see where Ohio is. That's a good... Where is Ohio?
It is a win for middle-class families.
Ohio.
It has historic investments in infrastructure that will put people to work, strengthen our communities, and make our nation.
Ohio. I see it over there in the distance.
It has a declaration to raise the minimum wage, and Americans need to earn $15 an hour at least.
I'm headed over to Ohio. Somebody in the comments mentioned that we should head over there. Let's see who that was. Mark Edwards would like us to go chat with somebody from Ohio. So let's head over there and see who's interested in chatting with us. Let's go this way. We're going to go chat with delegates from Ohio about the energy on the convention floor right now, about some of the more controversial things that have happened in the past couple days.
For social justice, for equal pay and higher pay, for safe and secure retirement, and for the right to organize labor unions.
So we're at the Democratic National Convention. I'm Deborah Acosta for the New York Times. I'm walking over to Ohio to chat with some of the delegates there. See if we can get back over there. Let's see, Ohio's a little hard to reach. Let's see how we can get there. Pretty elevated. Let's see, Ohio. They are in front of all these TV cameras. Makes them a little bit difficult to reach, unfortunately. Let's see. How could we get there?
I could not get a third. All I could get was 2 from Tony. That's all he's got. He gave me his last.
Let's see. How do we get to Ohio? I'm sorry. I may have to give up on trying to reach an Ohio delegate. It's a little bit difficult. I'm going to try these stairs here, and if we can't reach them, then we'll have to go elsewhere and talk with somebody from a different state. The California delegates chanting Bernie again once Hillary Clinton's name was mentioned. We're heading up the stairs here on the rafters, trying to make it over to Ohio. That's Ohio right there. See if we can chat with some delegates from there, from that state. As you can see, delegates are sitting up and down the stadium. It's a little difficult to reach them. Let's see if we can get over there. I'm going to have to step out for a moment and step back in. Let's see. Hurrying into the back of the stadium. I'm trying to reach the Ohio delegates. They're a little difficult to get to from the floor. So we're going to turn this way, see if we can chat with some delegates from Ohio. Sorry, sir. Let's go this way. Delegates eat too, people. Some of them take breaks, have a quick meal, snack, a drink. Let's see if we can reach Ohio through here. Let's go. I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Trying to reach delegates from Ohio. We haven't heard from them yet. Here we are. We've reached the Ohio delegates, I believe. Let's hope so. Sorry, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, ma'am, are you a delegate from Ohio? Yes? I'm Deborah Cuss, I'm a reporter with the New York Times. And I'm walking around, I'm talking to delegates, I'm chatting with them up, trying to find out what their mood is right now, how they're feeling.
Frustrated.
You're frustrated.
I feel that the Bernie delegates are not being polite. I think that they're being very disrespectful. We're not, the Hillary delegates we're clapping when they're talking about Bernie. You know, and I think, you know, I wish that, you know, they would focus on who the real person that we're targeting is. That's it.
So you're saying everyone should unite against Trump at this point?
Absolutely, absolutely. We've had the battle already. Hillary came out victorious. Senator Sanders ran a great campaign. He spearheaded and got some very important changes, you know, underway. And I think that, you know, now everybody needs to recognize that and come together to focus on Trump. That's what I tell my kids a lot of the time. I love the Rolling Stones song, "You Can't Always Get What You Want." And what we all have to do, and what is part of democracy, is that if you can get 60 or 70% of what you really want out of a candidate, that's pretty good. And what I worry about are all the people, if Donald Trump is elected because Bernie supporters stay home or vote for Jill, you know, for the Green Party, I worry that there are going to be a lot of people in a world of hurt. And that's just wrong.
Ma'am, what are your thoughts about some of the controversial thing that happened on Friday night when WikiLeaks released those DNC emails?
That's really worrisome. It's very worrisome to me. You know, the Clinton campaign didn't have anything to do with that. So, you know, that should be like off the table right now. Debbie Wasserman Schultz has resigned. You know, we're putting that behind us. Let's look forward. Let's look forward.
A lot of Bernie supporters here think that they still have a shot at making Bernie Sanders the nominee. What do you think about that?
I would like to ask them the question, how? We followed the democratic process. We followed the rules that Senator Sanders agreed to at the start of this campaign, and everything was done according to the rules. So my fear is that the people saying that are people who don't understand the process and who haven't been in the process long enough to really understand it.
What are your thoughts on superdelegate reform?
Personally, I'm in favor of superdelegates. I think in the past, when we did not have superdelegates, people stayed home. They stayed home. They didn't come to conventions. Also, you don't want an elected official running against their own constituents for a spot on, you know, as a delegate. So this takes that out of the equation.
Thank you so much for those points. Can you give me your first and last name?
It's Melissa Hedden, Hedden.
2 S's in Melissa?
1 L, 2 S's.
Thank you so much. And you're from which part of Ohio?
Columbus, Ohio.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time, ma'am.
Sure, thank you.
Do you have a card by any chance? So that was a delegate. Somebody on Facebook Live asked me to chat with a delegate from Ohio. It was a little difficult to get up here. We had to climb some stairs, but we got here. We chatted with one delegate here from Ohio who supports Hillary and who also supports having super delegates. She made some points about, you know, not having politicians running against their own constituents for a delegate position, and that's often what super delegates are, is politicians who are not running against their own constituents for a delegate seat. She also thinks that the emails that were released on Friday are old news at this point. She feels that that's something that we should move on from. And right now she's grabbing her card so that I can have her contact information to follow up with her perhaps later on in the week. As you look for that, ma'am, I'm going to go ahead and chat with another delegate from Ohio. Thank you so much. So she's looking for her card. As she's looking for her card, I'm going to find another delegate from Ohio. Hi, ma'am. Are you a delegate from Ohio?
Yes.
I'm Deborah Kassam, a reporter with the New York Times. I'm live on my Facebook page. I'm walking around, I'm chatting it up with delegates, trying to find out what's on their minds right now.
I just said to my husband, do we think he predicted that Obama was going to run for president? What?
2004.
2004.
In Boston.
In Boston. This is my 9th year.
1984.
This is your 9th convention, ma'am?
Yeah. So I looked at him with Ben talking, and I said, "You're going to make that prediction again?" So.
Well, can you repeat what that prediction is?
Well, that he would be someday running for president. But you know, he's a wonderful guy. Anyways, I'm a Bernie delegate. My husband's a Bernie delegate, and we're just here watching the show.
The show. That's a good way to put it.
Oh yeah. And I'm a pragmatist, and eventually we'll come to and just not only supporting Hillary, but making sure she wins.
You've been to 9 conventions, you just said.
Right.
How does this convention compare to past conventions?
I think the most exciting one was the Jesse Jackson convention, because we were Rainbow Coalition members. I was chair of the Rainbow Coalition at one point, and I remember the debate on the floor being one of affirmative action, whether it should be in the platform committee, and I think Mandel was saying, I don't think so. But does that sound right?
I don't know the specifics of it, but it was a real debate in '94, and all the other conventions until today, there was no real debate. It was just almost like a coronation. So I think we have an undergirding of real political difference and unity and excitement, which I think makes this convention real different.
Are you encouraged by some of the booing that you hear in the crowd? Some people are concerned, others are excited. What are your thoughts?
I'm somewhat frustrated. Wait, I'll wait a second.
Calling for the vote.
Right now they're calling for a vote, so we're taking a break for a moment. There's a vote that was just called now. I missed. There's a vote that was just called now. I missed what the vote was about.
somewhat frustrated when we attended the Bernie delegate meeting that there were vocal booing when he said we have to elect Hillary Clinton. I'm frustrated because I think it represents a mistaken political immaturity on how you make a political revolution. You push, you agitate, you organize, then you reflect, and then you move forward after the election. You don't allow your own personal engagement to overrun a strategic option to defeat Donald Trump, and that's what I think the booing represents.
Thank you so much, sir. Ma'am, do you agree with your husband?
Absolutely. We've been married 35 years, so what can I say?
Give me your card. I've written some commentaries that...
I don't have a card on me, but can I have your cards? Do you have a card on you? These are 2 delegates from Ohio. Ma'am, what was your name?
C.J. Prentice.
Can you spell that?
P like in Paul, R-E-N-T-I-S-S. Retired state senator, minority leader of the Ohio House.
C.J., the letters C and J?
C and J. I'm minority leader of the Ohio Senate, sorry.
Thank you so much. And you said you've been at 8 other conventions. This one, you said the Jesse Jackson one was exciting. How does this one rank in terms of excitement with all the other conventions?
I think this is number 2. The first one.
The first day. It's only the first day. I will have to, and Bernie hasn't even spoken, or Michelle, so we have to wait to see that.
And can you give me your name, sir?
My name's Michael Charney, C-H-A-R-N-E-Y.
Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate it. Do you have a card by any chance? No?
Off the record, I'll tell you what the first part I wrote about.
We're actually live right now on my Facebook page, so I can do this.
My first commentary about a year and a half ago, a good friend of CJ asked her who she's going to support for president, and given her demographic of an African American feminist who is an elected official, that person expected to say Hillary. But CJ said, Bernie, of course. I've been married to him for 35 years.
That's very cute. Thank you so much. Thank you both. Have a wonderful day. I'm Deborah Acosta. Acosta, A-C-O-S-T-A. Thank you so much. So we chatted with a couple of delegates there. Oh, hi, ma'am. Do you have a card now? Yes. Thank you so much, Melissa. I appreciate it. This is actually live on Facebook right now. Yeah. Like right now. Yeah. Thank you so much. Those were, we spoke with 3 delegates from Ohio there, and they're all committed to voting for Hillary. Even 2 Bernie supporters, they say that they want more unity in the party. One Bernie supporter we just chatted with voiced some disappointment for some booing that was heard earlier today when Bernie Sanders spoke to his delegates. He made a rousing speech. Everybody was cheering until the very end of the speech when he said that they all had to support Hillary Clinton. Once he mentioned her name, they all started to boo. And he was there and he said he was disappointed. He was disappointed that people were doing that. He wants to see a little more unity. And CJ, the woman I was speaking with, she's been to 8 other conventions, and she says this is one of the most exciting conventions that she's ever been at. And she should know. She's been to quite. I haven't spoken with anyone else that has been to as many conventions as that woman. So that was interesting to hear her perspective on that. And actually, I need to head back out and give in my credential. Perhaps there's not a line, and it'll be easy to come back out again. But if not, I may have to sign off pretty soon. It's been a pleasure. We're going to sign on again later this evening when Bernie Sanders speaks. I want to give everyone a forum to express themselves in the comments. And so later on this evening, when Bernie Sanders goes up to speak, we will stream that in full for you. Again, I'm Deborah Acosta with the New York Times. here at the Democratic National Convention on the floor with the delegates, chatting with them about some of the recent news around the convention, some emails that were leaked, and now I have to come back and hand in my credential. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it, and we'll be back again. We'll be back online again.
Someone who disrespects our POWs like John McCain. I thank you all for all you do to elect our next president, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
She got our own soldiers. She got our own soldiers killed in Benghazi. Benghazi! Google Benghazi! Clinton Foundation!
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Representative Brendan Boyle from Pennsylvania.
Welcome to the nation's birthplace, my hometown, Philadelphia. Right here in the sweltering summer of 1776, a nation was conceived, not for a single race or religion, but out of a shared commitment to powerful ideals that would inspire
politicians and have them listen to us no longer matters because it's all about.
He came here to enjoy the same rights and pursue the same opportunities that our founders dreamed of 2 centuries ago. He knew that in this country, his children would be centuries ago. He knew that in this country, his children would be considered just as American as the descendants of the Mayflower. My father's a janitor, cleaning the same train stations many of us rode past to get here tonight. My mother was a school crossing guard.
Okay, now this is a...
My brother and I grew up in a small Philadelphia row home where we were raised to believe that in this country, if you work hard, where you come from doesn't determine where you're going. Thanks to many sacrifices, a lot of student loans, and a little luck, I became the first in my family to go to college. As Democrats, our mission is to make more stories like mine more common, not less so. But all Donald Trump wants to do is tell you who's to blame, to fan the flames of anxiety, and to exploit them in the most negative, divisive, dangerous ways.
Hot? Nah,
this is why Hillary Clinton's vision...
Well, thanks for doing what you do. We appreciate it. So let's keep it walking a bit. What do you say? So I've learned after my week at the RNC, I learned a few essentials here. You got to have a backpack. Forget about looking cute with the tote, and you got to have sandals. You got to be mobile. So let's chat.
What do you what he says?
Actually, I think we're gonna walk away from that guy. I feel like he has a lot to say all the time. But let's keep on moving this way. So the protest really it starts down there and they just keep on moving. So over here we have some Hillary for prison signs, a Bernie Sanders, join the revolution. What do you say we get into this mix more over here? You guys are gonna have to just walk with me for a minute, okay? The protest is really moving and we got lost outside of it, so we're making up some ground. So here we've got a sign. I couldn't see it. What does your sign say, sir?
This one says...
Healthcare is a human right. Let me see the back.
On the back.
No entitled Clintonism. no Hillary.
Yes, that's right.
So you're a Sanders supporter, I'm assuming?
Actually, I'm here primarily because I want us to oppose the terrible policies of the next president, whoever they are, particularly Hillary Clinton, who has a record of causing great death and destruction in Libya, in Syria, in Honduras when she supported the coup. She has a record. And so the real reason I'm here is that I'm very sure that we need to politically fight the terrible policies of these misleaders.
All right, sir. We're going to keep on moving. Y'all have a good night, or a good day. Good evening, I should say. All right, I really want to get down here because I see a giant Bernie Sanders head. Do you see this thing all the way up here? That's where I'm aiming for. Let's go see who's responsible for this. Here we go. We've got something's burning. Sage sticks, perhaps? I definitely smell some other stuff. Hey there, sir. Hey, I'm on Facebook Live. Could I get you to turn around and show us?
Hold on, wait for them to
Oh, they're taking a picture. I'm being a little pushy, aren't I? Hang on, they're getting a big picture. What is that that's burning?
Right here is some, it's sage, lavender, and cedarwood. It is used for cleansing space, negative energy, and for grounding things and creating positive intention.
Very nice. I'm not going to get high.
No, not at all, not at all. It's just very grounding and very cleansing.
It actually does smell quite nice. It smells like, like all those wonderful herbs you just said.
If you pay attention, you can kind of feel a lightness. You can feel like a cleanse of heaviness around you.
You are soaking wet.
I just poured myself with some water. I've been singing.
I was going to say, if that is all sweat, I'm worried about you.
No. It was earlier. I had to carry like 40 pounds of water here to get it to people, and so I figured I would use a little bit of water for myself.
So are you here protesting against Hillary Clinton in support of Sanders, or what are you doing here?
I am here for our planet, for our country, for our people, so that we have a...
Where are you from?
I'm Earth.
Oh, come now. That's a good answer. I like that answer.
That is the most accurate answer I can possibly give.
Did you have to travel far to get here?
I was born in California, grew up in Wisconsin. I am a citizen of the planet, and that is what I do. I am here for the betterment and for the equal opportunity for all beings on this planet, and for everybody to be able to thrive and not just survive. This is a collaboration of consciousness. This is how change happens. When people come together, big things can happen. So I'm just here because I care, and I want to see people be free.
You keep hydrated now, you hear? Thank you. This is the guy I really want to talk to. He's ignoring me. I'm going to have to start being pushy. Hi there.
How's it going?
What's your name?
John Jarecki.
What is this? I love it. It's a massive Bernie Sanders.
Oh, he's been my Bernie puppet. I've been taken to the parades during the campaign, and figured just make the final stop to the last shot, and so I had to be here.
Well, I mean, what possessed you to make this? I mean, when you get pumped up by listening to Bernie Sanders at his rallies, what said, I know, I got to make a Bernie Sanders puppet?
Well, because what's happening right here. People, it draws attention. Bernie's message has brought me to actually bring about more progressive agenda. I'm so glad that, it's spread out as much as it has here. When I first heard he was running, because I've been following money and politics, I went ahead and jumped onto his campaign right away.
So you're clearly a big Hillary supporter, too.
Not a chance.
So who are you going to be voting for? What are you going to do?
Well, if I look at my ballot and it says, Trump, Hillary, most likely Gary Johnson, and then we're just about got Jill Stein in our state, so it'll probably be Jill Stein if that's what's on my ballot.
You have a puppet companion that has joined you.
Oh,
We just met him.
I chased him, yeah. I chasing him out of...
Oh, really? Oh, you're chasing him out. He's on your turf. These are puppet turf wars. This is what happens.
This is my buddy Lou.
Okay.
You're
in cahoots.
He's a representative of money in politics, and I'm chasing money out of politics.
So what are you going to do? Who are you going to vote for? If the ballot is as it is right now?
As it would be, Jill Stein.
Even though
it means nothing. If I don't break the two-party duopoly, I'll be stuck voting for the lesser of two evils for the rest of my life. I'm through with that.
So you're voting your conscience no matter what?
Absolutely. If we don't start doing it now, what's the point?
Can I get a high five? Yeah, Bernie Sanders high five. All right, let's go check out these Thank you, sir. Let's go check out. I just love seeing what these signs say. I mean, people really go to a lot of trouble to get these in and make them. All right, so we have America. We can't all run and hide. Self-defense is a Second Amendment right.
Eliminate guns except for slave owners.
Democrats hate our founders. Liberty is not a loophole. So we seem to have some perhaps more conservative folks in the midst. Am I sensing that correctly? I'm Kristen Fisher with Fox News. We're live on Facebook. You mind if I ask you guys a few questions? Sure. So what brought you out here today? Why'd you want to be right here outside the DNC?
We want to be where the action's at. We want to present another view. Fair and balanced, right?
Yep. No, I was just at the RNC in Cleveland, and I have to say the protests here feel a little bit more colorful. Animated, yes, than the...
Unsurpassed.
I'm sorry, they're more animated and colorful here than they were in Cleveland.
Half of New York was unsurpassed.
Puppets. It's pretty wild.
She consoled
It's very wild, and to be
those
honest
who
with you, it's a little
lost
troubling.
loved
I mean, these are millennials, the future of our country, and makes me a little worried. So...
I mean, you guys are some of the... do you mind me asking, who you guys plan to be voting for?
Trump. ABC, anybody but Clinton.
I haven't seen any other Trump supporters out here, or really any other conservatives for that matter. I'm sure they're out here somewhere in the crowd, but you guys are the first ones that I've come across. Have you run into any trouble from the more liberal protesters?
No. A few four-letter words, but nothing else.
We get the finger every once in a while, but otherwise people are pretty polite. We're from Maryland, and we've driven hours up here, and we have to go back hours to go back to be here to put this message out that this is just not a one-way street for these ideas. There's two sides to everything, and we've decided to get coming here against fairly overwhelming odds to give this message. We're really happy to be here.
So is there any effort to try to sway some of the Sanders supporters that you see out here and bring them on your side as opposed to getting them to vote for Hillary Clinton?
Some of them are actually have some of the same views we do.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm meaning. Is there any? Are you trying to coerce them?
There's some common ground, and some of them are just lefty loonies and are not going to be convinced no matter what. But there's some of them, we actually have some common ground with us, and they give us a thumbs up and take their pictures with us. So it's all good.
All right. What's your name, sir?
Paul Brockman.
Paul Brockman, thank you so much. I want to chat with your friend over here. You mind if I ask you a few questions? So you seem very focused on the Second Amendment, right? Just tell me a little bit about why you wanted to drive all the way out here and stand in the heat, 100 plus degrees, outside the convention with all these Sanders supporters. Why was it worth it to you to do all this?
Because there are millions and millions of law-abiding gun owners in the United States, and they're no threat to anyone. They own and use firearms, and they don't commit crimes with them, and the laws that the Democrats are passing against gun ownership primarily affect lawful gun owners who are not committing crimes. We're here to represent all the lawful gun owners who never would harm another citizen for any reason except for the defense of their life and the life of their family.
What do you do in Maryland?
I'm a contractor.
You're a contractor. All right. What's your big takeaway from being out here?
It's a fascinating experience. It looks like 1968 Democratic Convention all over again.
I wasn't alive back then, but from all the the videos I've watched and the accounts that I've read, there is certainly a feeling of and I don't mean in terms of the violence. I mean just in terms of the spirit of the 60s.
Well, it's very similar. The parallel is almost exact. We're in a city run by a repressive Democratic government, and the Democrats are split, and they've come to the convention to protest. That's exactly what happened in 1968. The difference was that it turned violent in 1968, and if things keep going, it gets much hotter. It might turn violent here. Who knows?
Oh, well, let's hope not, right? Let's hope not. Thank you so much for chatting with me. I really appreciate it. And keep cool out here, okay?
Who are you with?
I'm with Fox News. Kristen Fisher with Fox News.
Thank you. Do you have your card with you?
We're live right now. All right. Hold on. You guys see the backpack has really come in handy. I can't stress it enough. It's really It's really the way to get. I'm giving up my cute purse. You want one?
Expect us to support him because on
You
a
guys ever
common-
have any story?
we really think
Send it my way, okay? Y'all have a good one. Let's go.
As I mentioned, has endorsed Hillary Clinton. Bernie Sanders even sent a text message to his supporters saying, you should act civil tonight, you shouldn't boo. That would help Donald Trump, that would help the corporate media. Did you guys get that text message? You did get that text message. So why not follow your candidate in asking you guys to act a certain way this evening?
If we vote for Bernie Sanders and elect him as the presidential nominee, he will beat Donald Trump. If we don't choose Bernie Sanders as our nominee, the Democrats will lose in November.
So you don't think that Hillary Clinton has any chance to beat Donald Trump, even though Bernie Sanders has said that she is our best option to beat Donald Trump?
We can think for ourselves. We're not blind followers. We think critically. We look at the facts. There's plenty of evidence out there. And every poll indicates that Bernie Sanders will win in November. The other candidate will not. Bernie should be the nominee if we want a Democrat in the White House in November.
Even though the California primary was June 7th and those polls haven't been out for a few months, you still feel that way? Well, it doesn't seem like these supporters have really changed their viewpoint since that last primary in California. That's the view here with the New Mexico delegation. They're steadfast in their support. I'm going to have Matt Wargo, our producer, turn a little bit and show you guys some of the action that's going on over here on the floor. We have a bunch of different representatives. We have State Senator Adriana Espaillat right now on the stage, and Hillary Clinton supporters are right now waving signs that say "Love Trump's hate." But within those signs, there's quite a few "No TPP." There's quite a few Bernie signs. I'm seeing a lot of Bernie shirts here and there scattered. We're going to try and bring you more of those voices, as we've explained, off to a very loud, divided, energetic, and all sorts of directions start here in Philadelphia. We'll have live coverage. Stay with us here at the convention.
Bringing up the idea of questioning Bernie Sanders' religion.
All right, that was ABC's Josh Haskell on the floor. There's a rousing address going on right now on stage. Let's listen in.
Elegir a Hillary y a ti, y seremos vencedores porque en la unión está la fuerza. ¿Se puede? ¿Se puede? ¿Se puede? Es para allá que vamos. Thank you.
It's being taken by Abbas Sherma.
The only other way is to set the motherfucker on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to take the 2016 Democratic Convention official photo. We would like to ask all the delegates and guests to get to your seats quickly and make sure there is no movement in the hall. The photo is being taken by Abbas Sherma Hamadi, fourth-generation photographer using a 100-year-old camera that has captured all the past DNCC convention and the past 6 presidential inaugural ceremonies. Please look towards the center of the hall.
Just here to church America, although we're definitely going to do that all night, all day, and every day that we're here. But we're here to tell people that there is a whole other way the world can be.
I do need your cooperation, please. There should not be any movement in the hall. If you are moving, the people behind you will be completely blurred. There is the hall. I greatly appreciate your cooperation. You will be camera in 20 seconds. Wherever you are, please stay right there. Don't move.
11%. That's right. RobinForSenator.com. ROBINFOR. On everything. Robin for Senator Facebook, Twitter. They told me to get a Snapchat.
Not different from what the other candidates are doing, and what we need is an actual revolution. You need to know about Father Clinton. He's not trying to run for office. He's trying to run this system out the fucking planet. He's trying to lead an actual revolution to bring this system down and bring a much better society into being. Father Mackey has written the Constitution to prop up the Republic. Take it away, don't do it. You guys can walk away. Walk away if you don't want to hear, if you don't want to be engaged. I know the word of God never returns void. The Bible says as the rain comes down and the snow from heaven will not return there on the God of the earth. That it may bring forth his word, so shall my word be that will be heard out of my mouth. He gives bread to the ear and seed to the soul. Jesus said, that's how they need to say, I will believe in the strength of God themselves.
Have the power and giving it back to them.
Oh, the free hug guy is here. It's the free hug guy.
Oh, thanks,
What's
man.
up? You're on live.
Oh, I'm live on Facebook.
Live, yeah.
Free Hugs guy, we're Facebook Live right now.
Right on.
Awesome,
Take
thanks,
it
man.
Can I get you on my Snapchat? Of course. Battery live in the
Free Hugs guy. Free Hugs guy, you live on ABS.
Oh, I'm live.
National Convention, where early on we're about 2 hours and a half into it, but it's been a pretty chaotic scene here at the convention hall. It started at the invocation when Reverend Cynthia Hale mentioned Hillary Clinton, and the crowd just erupted into boos. And ever since, every time Hillary Clinton is mentioned, there are dueling sides here. Some chanting Hillary, Hillary, others chanting Bernie, Bernie. And right now on stage is House Speaker Tina Kotek. And she's the Speaker of the Oregon State House, and she's the first lesbian Speaker of a state house. If you guys have questions, let us know. We'll keep tabs on them.
Tell me if you understand this one. It says here, if you like Bernie, you'll love Jill Stein. And why is that picture a little bit funny?
Because Jill Stein is Bernie's.
You got it. Oh boy.
In
You might-
state
you might
capitals
skip 9,
all
too.
across
You might
our
go
country.
Right to 10 if you keep it up.
Just like Hillary, Oregon Democrats and Democratic state legislators across the country are proud to stand up for the hard-working people we represent. We have been leading the country by advancing progressive policies
I have that one.
level the playing
Read it.
field
You have
and
it
create
spelled.
an economy
I will.
that works for all Americans. From raising the minimum wage, to guaranteeing paid family and medical leave, to ending racial profiling, Democratic leaders in the states are fighting to get it done. And now, we need to elect Hillary Clinton to ensure the progress we are making isn't compromised by risky, reckless leadership in the Oval Office. From the State House to the White House, we need leaders like Hillary Clinton who will stand up to the bullies who threaten fairness and equality, who offer real solutions that put working families first, and build an economy that gives everyone a fair shot at success. Hillary Clinton is our answer to intolerance and fear. And I have her back because I know she stands with all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tina, and thank you for what you do for the great state of Oregon. Friends, I'm Kevin DeLeon, Senate President from the great state of California. And I'm with Hillary because she has spent a lifetime fighting for families just like mine. As the son of a single immigrant mother with a third-grade education, I know how important the work of our state capitals can be. We open doors of opportunity to hard-working Americans who don't have the luxury of a family inheritance or a pedigreed name. Democrats in California have led the way by raising the minimum wage, expanding affordable child care, establishing our own state's DREAM Act to keep families together, keeping college affordable, and creating more than 500,000 clean energy jobs through our landmark climate laws. We've made unprecedented progress in every area. And when we elect Hillary Clinton as our next president, I know that our progress will be America's progress. These are the progressive policies that have made California the sixth largest economy on planet Earth. And my friends, this is how Democrats govern. And when Democrats lead, everyone has a shot to succeed.
Suicide bombing in South Germany.
Not by shouting xenophobic, bombastic rhetoric but into the microphones, but by taking bold, purposeful, intentional policies and implementing them,
for a world
igniting innovation
like
that
not
leaves no
tolerate
one
insults, jokes, and
behind. And that's how you improve the human condition. Democrats don't alienate, isolate, exclude, or demonize. And we don't manufacture fear. That's a sign of weakness. We look to solve inequality, empower the forgotten and the overlooked, and expand the winner's circle for everyone, irrespective of who you are, where you come from, the language you speak, or the hue of your skin. And we fight for fair and equal pay for all women because we know that our economy works better when we all work together. Friends, we're all Democrats. And more importantly, we are Americans. And I got a message for Donald J. Trump. Nosotros no construyemos muros, los tumbamos. We don't build walls here. We tear them down. Thank you.
I am Stacey Abrams, and I join you today from the great state of Georgia, where I am honored to lead the Democrats in the Georgia House of Representatives and to serve on the board of the DLCC. Growing up as the daughter of a librarian and a shipyard worker in southern Mississippi, my family was hit time and again by the economic insecurity that is too often driven by racism, sexism, and the ills that come with being born in the wrong zip code. Still, every day, my parents taught us, all 6 of their children, to celebrate through service the grace that is America. To understand that no matter how little we may have had, there was always someone with less, and it was our job to serve that person. To know that even the most powerful among us, the strongest among us, did not rise up alone. No matter where we start, we all need help. We all need opportunity. And when we succeed, we prosper together. That grace that my parents talked about changes the lives of our families, our communities, our countries, and the fortunes of generations who will follow. Hillary Clinton understands that government at all levels is a profound expression of our common humanity and our shared values, of our aspirations, not our fears. And that is why I am so very proud to stand with this remarkable woman, with the thousands of fellow state legislators, and with each of you as we elect Hillary to be the 45th president of these United States. I am here today as part of a new American majority, one that has the courage to work together rather than tear our nation apart. We are the architects of solutions to help families raise healthy children and make a living wage, rather than crippling our economic future and pushing dangerous policies that deny Medicaid expansion and reproductive choice. We fight for more because that is who we are. The Democratic Party is the party of civil rights and human rights, of space flight and moonshots. We will always be the party of progress and inclusion, and we will not allow this country to return to an era of discrimination. Instead, we will elect Hillary Clinton, a clear-eyed leader who sees the future and races toward it, fearless and bold, because she knows and we know that America is and must always be stronger together. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Mayor of Philadelphia, Jim Kenney.
Yo, Pennsylvania. On behalf of the great people of this city, welcome to Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a city that makes history, and we're ready to do it again when this convention nominates the first woman president of the United States. Today, however, I want to share a Philadelphia story you probably don't know. In 1844, an early version of the Know Nothing political party held a rally here to protest the threat that Irish Catholic immigrants opposed to the American way of life. They claim, these immigrants, people like my family, were more likely to commit crimes than native-born citizens. Does that sound familiar? This rhetoric led to riots. St. Michael and St. Augustine churches were burned to the ground. Some 20 people died. I'm telling you this story for one reason. It's happening again. The Know-Nothings have returned, and last week in Cleveland, they vowed to take their country back this November. But they got it all wrong. It was never their country in the first place. Whether our families came to this country in 1776 or 1976 or 2016, this country belongs to all of us. Now, many of us thought we defeated the Know-Nothings 8 years ago when we elected our first black president, Barack Obama. But the fact is that meaningful change never happens all at once. You have to fight for it. A few weeks ago, after 2 previous attempts, Philadelphia became the first major city to pass a soda tax that will fund pre-K, community schools, and parks, recreation centers, and library innovations all throughout the city. Recently, I was speaking to an immigrant restaurant owner who told me that he supported the tax even though he sells soda because it was going to help the neighborhood children. He said, "We didn't come here just to get rich. We came here to make a better life for ourselves and everyone else." I can't tell you how angry I am that he and all of our immigrant brothers and sisters had to hear the ugly things said in Cleveland. But we can't let that anger overwhelm us. That's what Know-Nothings do. Instead, we have to come together. Because when this country comes together, families who used to have to choose between groceries or health care are no longer hungry or sick. When we come together, children whose destiny was once determined by their zip code get a start in pre-K that they deserve. And when we come together, the Know-Nothings who overran Philadelphia in 1844 will finally be defeated with the election of Hillary Clinton as President of the United States in 2016. Let's get to work. Thank you, and enjoy Philadelphia.
Consulting with consistently so that you're ready on day one?
I'm speaking with myself, number one, because I have a very good brain and I've said a lot of things.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Governor Dannel Malloy from Connecticut.
Thank you very much. I'm here today to tell you a story of hope, a story of why we are stronger together. It's a story of a young boy with physical and severe learning disabilities, a child for whom reading and writing were almost impossible, a child thought to be, as the term was used in the early 1960s, mentally retarded as late as the 4th grade, a boy who could not tie his shoe or button his shirt until the 5th grade. Someone who knew the harsh words of bullies in the playground and discrimination in the classroom. But that boy had great teachers, and he had a mother who believed deeply in giving him the opportunities for success. He had a support system that believed that we are stronger together when we lift up those who fall behind. And that boy was lifted up. He learned his strengths. He overcame his difficulties. He went on to be successful in college and law school, then earning the right to be the first learning-impaired person to take the essay portion of a bar exam orally in 3 different states. And today, that boy has now grown up and is standing before you as the governor of the state of Connecticut. and proud to be addressing the Democratic National Convention. See, this is my story, a story of why we are stronger together. It's an American story. After all, our communities are bound by the shared understanding that we are stronger together, that we need to lift up our brothers and sisters and ignore the shouts and taunts of bullies amongst us. That is one reason why I'm a Democrat, and that is why I am proud to support Hillary Clinton for President of the United States. Like Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine, I believe that we must instill hope in every American. It doesn't matter their race or their gender or who they love or where their parents were born or their religion or what their learning abilities are. Every child, every American deserves to have an opportunity to be successful in this life. That's what we stand for as Democratic governors. We stand for solving problems and bringing hope to more Americans. Hope for fairer wages, hope for better schools, and hope for more time to spend with the families they love. We're proud to count amongst our alumni former Governor Bill Clinton, and we're proud to count amongst our alumni former Governor Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine, who as governor of Virginia led his state through the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression while creating jobs in the process. And today I am here to tell you that the middle class in America is getting stronger thanks to the work of Democratic governors. In Washington, D.C., Republicans will block any innovative idea that has a scarlet letter D for Democrat next to it. But in the states run by Democratic governors, we're about solving problems. Every day we work to create jobs and improve access to quality education and expand opportunities for Americans. That's exactly what we've done in Connecticut. We've added over 100,000 jobs while raising the minimum wage. We passed criminal justice reform that gives nonviolent offenders a second chance. We've lowered our prison population by thousands and thousands of individuals, while we cut our crime rate to the lowest it has been in 48 years. And after the Sandy Hook school tragedy, we passed common sense gun safety laws, including universal background checks in our state of Connecticut. We have moved towards equal pay by making compensation more transparent. And we were the first state in the nation 5 years ago to pass paid sick leave. And guess what? Not only are our workers protecting their health, but they're also protecting the health of the people they serve. And overwhelmingly, the businesses they work for approve of paid sick leave today. Democratic governors across this country are leading the way. In New York and Delaware, we've raised the minimum wage. In Rhode Island and Montana, we've taken action for equal pay. In Oregon and California, we've passed paid sick leave. Across the map, we have passed Medicaid expansion. And of course, we've made historic investments in education, including right here in Pennsylvania under Governor Tom Wolf. Democratic governors and the Democratic Party are focused on the issues that matter to working families. And that's exactly what Hillary Clinton will focus on as our next president. Now, meanwhile, Donald Trump, who has insulted anyone who doesn't agree with him or doesn't look like him, women, Mexican Americans, veterans, Muslim Americans, the LGBTQ community, and people with disabilities, you name them, and Donald Trump has bullied them. Now, I know something about bullies, and I know why we must stand up to them. If Donald Trump's words are bad, and they are, his actions are worse. just look at his vice presidential choice, Governor Mike Pence. With the Trump-Pence ticket, it's like a contest to see who can discriminate more. Pence rejected $80 million in federal money that would have funded pre-K for 4,000 low-income children. He signed a law that would have forced women to hold funerals for fetuses, even in some cases after a miscarriage. He signed another law that would discriminate against people based on who they love and how they express that. That law cost Indiana's economy an estimated $60 million in lost business. And in another state, North Carolina, a very similar law has caused the NBA to move the All-Star game out of that state. Governor Pence turned his back on refugee children and their parents. I know this firsthand. The first family of refugees rejected by him are now welcome residents in the state of Connecticut. The Trump-Pence ticket brings the worst of the Republican gubernatorial record to the national stage, and it shows why we need to fight back at the local level. Governors work where the rubber meets the road, where we drive innovative policies that can move across the nation. Democratic governors are critical to winning this battle at the state level. That's why the DGA exists. We're the only organization focused on electing Democratic governors and supporting their policies. We're fighting for these policies today, and we're fighting for the future by focusing on winning back governor's seats before redistricting occurs in 2020. You all know this. You know that the Republicans rigged the map in 2010. That's why we need strong Democratic governors to fight for fair maps and the policies that we all believe in and that should be coming out of the Congress of the United States. Together we can and will help lift up every American so that they can live the American dream. Because we as Democrats believe that we are stronger together. God bless you and thank you very much.
Republicans hold the House even though Americans voted for more Democrats.
When Republicans won the majority of state houses in 2010, it ensured they'd be redrawing the maps in those states. And lo and behold, it paid off in 2012.
Republicans drew congressional maps that look like inkblot tests.
In many states, governors have veto power over the redistricting lines drawn by legislators.
Brazen political redistricting has helped the GOP keep control of the House, regardless of what voters might prefer.
They were able to do that in large part because of a highly effective Republican plan set in motion years earlier.
But in states with Democratic governors, we stopped the Republican power grab. Now Democratic governors are restoring voting rights and protecting our right to vote.
Oregon is first to push to get more people to vote, not fewer.
Governor John Hickenlooper signed the Colorado Voter Access and Modernized Elections Act.
Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe made history today.
Connecticut approved Election Day registration.
So with congressional redistricting coming up again after 2020, it's simple. If you want more Democrats in Congress and a stronger Democratic Party, then elect more Democratic governors and help unrig the map.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Chief Executive Officer of the 2016 Democratic National Convention Committee, Reverend Leah Daughtry.
My sister and brother Democrats, welcome to Philadelphia. Our extraordinary team has worked tirelessly to make this week worthy of the history happening here at the 2016 Democratic National Convention. We gather in Philadelphia the birthplace of American democracy, to celebrate the most enduring of American values, that of we the people. When we as Democrats say we the people, it has perhaps a different meaning than it does for our friends on the other side of the aisle. When Democrats say we the people, we mean all the people. All the people, regardless of race, color, creed, or ethnicity. All the people, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity. All the people, those with plenty and those with little. The boats at the bottom and the boats coasting on the top. All the people, the least, the last, the lost, the locked in and the left behind. Because we know that our diversity is not our problem, it is our promise. And we understand that you don't have to be just like me to be just like me. We believe that we have a mission, a mandate, and a responsibility to work, fight, and act on behalf of those who cannot work, fight, and act for themselves. We have a mission to ensure that our public leaders reflect all the values of all the people that they serve. We have a mandate to leave no one behind, because none of us succeeds unless all of us succeed. And we have a moral obligation, grounded in our common values, to live not as islands unto ourselves, but in a beloved community with each other. And this idea requires that we recognize the intrinsic worth of every person, and starting right now to make an investment in their futures. When our founding fathers and mothers created this document and wrote "We the People," not even 5 miles from where we stand today, they set our country off on an ongoing journey toward a more perfect union. And this week, we will take one huge step toward breaking the hardest, highest glass ceiling and nominating our candidate, Hillary Rodham Clinton, who not only believes that we the people means all the people, but that regardless of what you look like or where you come from, what you believe or who you love, we are always stronger together. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
Philadelphia right now. Expanding furiously. trying to stay cool.
Jenny, you're the girl for me. You don't know me, but you make me so happy.
Sorry, we just had some technical difficulties. As soon as they figure out the feedback issue, then they're going to carry on with the rally. But just to fill you in, I've talked to a lot of Sanders supporters here, who none of whom said they were voting for Clinton. All of whom said they might write Bernie Sanders in or support support a third-party candidate. It's interesting, I haven't run into one Hillary Clinton organizer.
We met, one guy came up to us and was like, hey, that girl's part of the Hillary campaign, and then he like left her.
You met a supporter?
We met a part of the, we didn't get to meet her. He just pointed out and was like, well, I guess she was like for Hillary, so I didn't want to be her friend.
Right,
so, like,
right. Well, I mean,
it sounded like she's part of the campaign.
Yeah, somebody's pointed out that there are no Clinton organizers or organizations that are having rallies or marches or anything like that. It's all been.
All the delegates are locked down over there. They locked them down. We have delegates in there, and they're not letting them out.
Is they're on lockdown?
They're just like not letting them go.
They're not letting delegates out. Why is that?
5 of them in there. I don't know, but they're not letting them out.
What is it? You mean lockdown like a threat?
They're not letting them leave. They're supposed to be there for the function.
All right, so we're getting reports. That delegates are on lockdown at DNC. Okay, it seems like I think they've solved the feedback issue, so we're back on. And we're about to hear from Jill Stein shortly. It looks like they figured out the issue, so stay tuned. Thank you for your patience. And earlier today, I think a lot of Sanders supporters were frustrated when Hillary Clinton went ahead and made Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who is now former chair of the DNC, she appointed her to honorary chair of the Hillary Clinton campaign. I think that a lot of people, coupled with the nomination of Tim Kaine as vice president, saw that as a slap in the face. As I said before, there are many people here with Bernie Sanders shirts. We'll come down to a Jill Stein rally. Okay, we're just getting through a few. All right, please let me know if your feed is frozen. I think a few people have said that their feed is frozen. Their screen is frozen. Again, we are just about a quarter mile away from the DNC, from the convention itself. And there's just a problem with the feedback, and they're getting that figured out right now. As soon as they figure that out, Jill Stein is going to speak along with Chris Hedges and Cordell West.
Wow, yeah, look, here comes Cornell.
Sabotage! After
the demise of a movement inside of the Democratic Party, that there is a new movement being born. And we are here together tonight. We are here together tonight like a family coming together. This is a marriage made in heaven. To have the integrity and the power and the glory of this movement from Bernie's campaign joining together tonight with my campaign. I will be brief tonight because we have several other incredible performers and speakers that are a part of our community. And I'm so proud to be sharing them with you as we build together the community to take back the promise of democracy and a peaceful, just, green future. People, planet, and peace over profit. We together will cancel student debt like we did for the crooks on Wall Street. The beginning. We will create a Green New Deal with the right to a living wage job for everyone as a human right. To end this crisis of our economy as we end the crisis of our climate and the crisis of police brutality and the crisis of the incarceration nation. And create a welcoming path to citizenship for the immigrants who are always at the core of our economy. Create a foreign policy based on international law and human rights. And finally, thank all of you for refusing to let this revolution be intimidated. GLF!
so there's a storm
Peace,
coming.
people. This is Immortal Technique. I love ya. I have been coming
Immortal Technique is
as a
saying
liberal
hello.
or progressive. I am a revolutionary, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate all the revolutionary love. Please, they're asking people to exit so that there's no danger of a lightning storm. But we don't want anyone hurt. We want to make sure because they're ejecting people right now.
So that's
Please get
Immortal
yourself to
Technique,
safety.
Rebel Diaz, Chris Hedges, Cornel West. We're set, slated to speak and perform. We're just going to go around, give you a sense of what the whole sort of scene looks like. It's a bit chaotic. There's a pretty mean storm coming.
Imagine a word of God without religious groupies. Imagine a savior born in a Mexican hoopty, persecuted single mother in a modern manger. You crucify him again like a fucking stranger. Tears and anger worth more than diamonds or rubies. Imagine being locked up since juvie. Imagine changing your life and still going out like Tukey. Imagine people talking shit when they never knew me. Imagine a movie that depicted the pain in your life, like them kids in Afghanistan chasing a kite. For most of the world, that's what it's like. Imagine if the woman you're supposed to love for the rest of your life is set to marry someone else at the end of the night. They say you fight the greatest jihad in your heart and your mind, and fight the hardest when you start from behind. So I treat the impossible all the time. Fuck a Masonic design, America's future is mine. Repeat that to yourself. Repeat that to yourself. Is if my culture's a crime, then numbers 10 on your own are too far behind. They can only conquer you after they murder your mind. Rise up, motherfucker, like the sign of the times. I feel my body weakening, but my spirit is fine. Ready to go to war with devils at the drop of a dime. And fighting my rebel army until the stars are aligned. Cause Nostradamus was a white man's prophet who conquered the European supremacists, killed Germans and people. Pilgrims in the conquistador columns killed more innocent people than Hitler and Stalin. So I guess the fortune teller skipped an anti-Christ or two. Brother, give this to the OGs, know it life with you. And pray for the problems with the Pope psychology, so the Vatican will offer an apology. For what? For destroying the people's liberation theology, snatching the spirit of Jesus from people in poverty. It's the decision like keeping people in prison, but have the opposite effect incarcerating religion.
Immortal Technique is performing right now. There's a power outage.
If you read the Northwood documents, so fuck the compliments for what I recorded. Please live for revolution instead of always dying slowly. This is a song called The Moment of Peace on my brother CF album. It's about the words that people misuse. Check it right now. It doesn't matter about the rainbow circumstances, but they can never stop Jews dying on Bernie Sanders. And I'll be watching on stage with a long set, giving more respect to a legend known as Cornel West.
Cornel West here.
No aviator, no Howard Hughes. I'm trying to reach the high altitudes. I touched the sky and climb my views. I came back down on clouds.
So there's a torrential downpour outside.
Honey, you still had an honest man. Filthy money, it's the gangsters. That gangsters, they tell man that kill this country.
Keep it going.
Out there to come to show less wrong, but there's where I run for them hedge funds. There's more drones, less guns, war zones, dead sons, hormones, messed up. Everyone is so confused. I praise God, must be God is inside that vocal booth. My name's CF, I love you. This is Philadelphia, home of where the fucking freedom started out. And even in 1812, there was a freaking storm that stopped the British from trying to take over this country, just like the same storm that'll stop this current regime, the current corruption, the current discrimination against all people, all freedom loving people. I love y'all, my name is CF.
I'm giving y'all, we perform with no mic. We just want to tell people that now they're asking us to clear the stage and to evacuate for your safety. Please.
So one more, right?
We're gonna rap. Hold on.
There's a lot of energy here.
Sorry, brothers. I tell you what, man.
There's an intense storm outside, but we're still
I'm gonna just rhyme while I'm
going
walking over
forward.
there.
The power's gone out, but
We'll walk and talk. We'll rap and
we ran on the generator. That went out.
we'll rap and chat. I love you. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are here because we all believe in freedom and justice. We believe in standing against racism. We stand against corruption, and we realize that we don't have to join the Democratic establishment to do this. We gotta go. We gotta get out of the building. We gotta get out of the building. Shut this down. Grab the equipment, please. Love y'all. I'm gonna get over there. I'll see y'all right there. We out.
So we're gonna try and.
Place is to go to the left under I-95 in about 5 minutes.
All right, so we're still at the rally. It's complete chaos. It's raining extremely hard outside. We're gonna take a look quickly at what it looks like, just to give you an idea. I know that for those of you who are watching for a long time, the feed was okay. We got people dancing in the rain. Of course, you can see that the footage got way darker because there was a storm coming. It seems like people are embracing the rain, and just so people know what's going on with the rally. The rally was going well until there was a power outage. Then they were running, from what I understand, they were running on a generator, and then running on a generator, and then the generator, for some reason, blew out or something, and then they started using a megaphone. But now they've gotten to the point where they've got to tell people to clear out. I'm not going to go outside for I think the iPhone will break. But as you can see in the tent, there's still hundreds of people who are gathered. I think you might be able to draw a nice little metaphor about the Green Party, according to how this rally went. We've still got some big names here. Rebel Diaz is still here. From what I understand, Immortal Technique is here. Chris Hedges, Cornel West, Jill Stein, I think, is still here. We're going to walk to the other side to see if we can get a sense of what the rally exactly looks like. Of course, I think for many of our viewers, many of you viewing this right now, this is probably completely different than what's going on at the DNC itself. We're about a quarter mile away from the convention itself. This is in FDR Square, and all these protesters here, it's quite dark, but all these protesters here, you can see, all these protesters marched down from City Hall, which is in downtown Philly, about center city Philly. And we're in downtown Philly right now, and they've all gathered to support Jill Stein. There were a number of other events that were going on. The storm is coming in the same part. It doesn't look like now that this storm is coming down, in fact. It doesn't look like it's going to last that long, and if you stay tuned in, I wouldn't be surprised if they resume the rally, in fact. I think they're just telling people to find shelter temporarily. Somebody says rain is nourishing and I'm a city slicker. Well, I don't know. That might be true. I think I would embrace the rain if I didn't have an expensive piece of technology in my hands. And when they make waterproof iPhones, make sure and be out there with the people dancing. His Bernie Sanders supporters dancing in the rain. Maybe we can talk to a couple people here. Excuse me. Do you mind if I ask you some questions? What did you think of the rally? Hasn't really gone as expected.
No, it's been really
due to the weather.
Amazing though.
Yeah. But they continued even after from what I understand, the power went out, and then they continued with the generator and then the megaphone, and you're still here, and hundreds of other people are still here.
Yeah, it's still going.
Yeah. Are you here all week?
I live in Philly.
Huh?
I live in Philly.
Oh, you live in Philly. Well, okay, so I haven't really met many people from Philly. What's kind of the attitude of a lot of people, Bernie Sanders supporters, but also people living in Philly? What's their?
I mean, I am a Bernie Sanders. I'm all about it, but
Yeah. And so Jill Stein, is that somebody you were thinking about previously? You gotta speak
no,
up,
no,
too.
I'm just learning about it today. Actually, like this week. So.
Oh, so
yeah.
you just found out about Jill
Yeah.
Stein? Oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
like I'm not really like super political,
Right.
but I just found out about it. I think she's amazing. Like everything that she said.
I think a lot of people. I think that's happened with a lot of people where they were Sanders supporters. Everybody has a Bernie Sanders shirt around here. They've got Bernie signs. It's interesting because it's a Jill Stein rally, so it's like a lot of people are finding out about Jill Stein. It seems. Yeah. So did you like? What was your impression?
It was very informative. It was amazing. I mean, it's positive energy. Positive energy. I like that. Yeah, and good.
Yeah.
Good things that we should be fighting for our rights. So.
Do you think there's maybe an unsaid metaphor in the fact that there's a torrential downpour while the Green Party, outside
like the
party, is
global
trying to have
warming?
global warming? Yeah, and also fighting against all odds, you could say, some people could say?
Yeah, I mean, we got a hard fight.
Yeah, okay, all right, thank you very much, I appreciate it. All right, maybe I'm exaggerating that metaphor. If you want to follow what's going on at the DNC, you can check me out on Twitter. I haven't been able to tweet too much yet, but go to Thomas Hedges TRN, my Twitter handle. If you could, you can see what's going on. I'm on the floor. I'm in the media booth. I'm in the perimeter, and we'll be talking to delegates and live streaming other protests. So if you'd like to stay updated, check me out on Twitter, Thomas Hedges TRN. Check out our site, therealnews.com, and please make a contribution if you can. We don't take any corporate funding, and we don't do advertising, so we kind of rely on supporters like you, viewers like you. All right, it's a bit hectic here. We've got a mock Bernie Sanders who's speaking over here with a megaphone. This has turned into sort of a fragmented rally. Still quite interesting.
Jill's campaign is about everything that our campaign has been for and more.
You are done. You are done. It is a weather emergency. These people need to leave the tent. You will leave the tent.
It is a weather emergency. People need to leave the tent now. You will leave the tent now.
And you will too.
There is a weather emergency. We will all leave the tent. I will remain on the megaphone until you are out of the tent, and then I will leave the tent.
Thank you so much.
This is a weather emergency. If it is safe to do so, leave the tent.
Is she the one that was called?
To not occupy a tent
when it's raining.
What's going on? There's a weather
There's a
emergency
severe
for the-
thunderstorm, so go out into it.
It's a weather emergency.
Yes.
Are you?
Because we're in such threat of being rained on where we're sitting.
Like, worst that happens, lightning and we all die.
Yeah, that was easy then.
Yeah, not my problem at that
Right?
point.
Yeah. Sucks for the cleanup crew, I guess.
Is the emergency that they need to take the tent down? Because I don't think they'll fight someone.
I'm itching to walk out in the middle of the field.
A little back, bro. Give me some space.
No, because they can't hear you.
Oh, they don't need to. Rambling on needlessly.
All right, that's okay. It's all right. Okay. All right, so just people trying to figure out what they're going to do. Maybe we can talk to a couple people who organized the rally itself. I know we didn't get to hear from many speakers. I wonder if they're still here. And the storm looks like, it kind of looks like it's passing. Excuse me, is rally going to continue, do you think? Or?
I don't think so. I'll try to find out, but
Okay.
I'm not sure.
But so the power went out and then there was a generator and it sort of all fell apart, is that what happened?
Yeah, because of the threat from the lightning.
Right. So what's the weather emergency? Is lightning? Is lightning?
I think we have to turn the power off because of lightning. friends.
Oh, I see. It didn't turn power off
become,
because of
yeah.
lightning. Oh, okay. All right. And have the speakers left? I know that there was Cornel West, Chris Hedges were still slated to speak.
I know, we didn't get to hear from Cornell.
Oh, that's too bad. Okay.
I don't think we can have him speak tonight, unfortunately.
Right.
That's what I think, but I'm not totally sure.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Philly.
All right. So. Well, we're still here, and we've got a lot of viewers that are still tuning in. I appreciate it. I guess a lot of people are interested to see the kind of chaos in the tent here. We'll just go around, I guess, and talk to people, just see what's going on. They've told, apparently, this is what the organizer was telling me of this rally, was telling me that they had to turn off the power equipment, the power to the equipment because there was threats of lightning. So I guess of a potential of a surge. So they had to shut off all the electricity. It looks like Cornel West won't be able to speak. It's not really clear whether other rally speakers are going to stick around. We've got people sort of embracing the rain. As you can see, we've got somebody This is not what I expected the rally to be at this moment. I thought we'd be listening maybe to Cornel West, but instead we're outside in the rain. It's raining quite hard. The plan is right now is a little bit up in the air. They're waiting for the storm to pass, and then the rally may continue. One of the big issues is the threat of a surge, of an electric surge. So they had to turn all the equipment off and the speakers off, so that, or they had to turn all the equipment off. Whoops. And evacuate the area. So people are just sort of biding their time and waiting. I guess we'll go ahead and talk to... All right, something's happening here. I think someone's trying to grab the mic, or I don't know. What's happening? So people are just waiting for the storm to pass. Is that right?
Yes.
I'm just doing a live stream. That's okay. You don't mind being on camera. I was filming the event, and now I guess I'm just walking around. Oh, okay.
I was doing it, and then it ended, and I started to make a run for it, and I turned off Facebook Live, and now I'm like, well, I guess I could be Facebook Living this.
You could. I'm still doing it. I've got 400 viewers. I'm surprised they want to. I mean, it's quite dark in here, but they're still watching. Okay. Seems like people don't really want to talk that much. Let's try and.
We must elect Hillary Clinton and the champions like her who are going to put families first and stop the candidates of hatred and greed. Brothers and sisters, I believe that we can win. Do you? Repeat after me. I believe that
I guess there's like a weather warning.
Thank you very much, brothers and sisters.
I'm under a big tent at the Jill Stein rally, and I guess they're trying to get us to 95, like 10 minutes away from the tent, but I'm still trying to figure out what's going on.
I'm proud to be here in my hometown.
Yeah, I think they're exaggerating it. I think it's just because there's so many people.
Well, how did we get there?
Oh, okay.
I was over at City Hall.
I'm on the phone with my producer, with my publisher. Within 2 miles? Okay. Oh, okay, I see. All right. Oh, it is. Okay. I'll try and get someplace in. Oh, it is. Okay. Okay. Well. Yeah. Yeah. I got a lot of stuff. I'm still streaming. Right now. It's probably like okay. Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. All right. So there's lightning within 2 miles of where we are, which I guess is quite dangerous. That's what everybody is saying. And the organizers are saying that we're not safe at all under this tent. I think it's fine. It looks fine to me. I don't know that a lot of people have a place to go. And this lightning is supposed to be over by lightning is supposed to be over by 8 o'clock. And what time is it right now? Oh, okay, it's half an hour. That's not too bad. Well, I didn't really plan for this, so if anybody has any suggestions as to if they want me to walk around and ask people certain questions, whatever you'd like to know. Okay. All right, the Bernie Sanders, this is quite funny because the Bernie Sanders impression, impressionist, that's the word. Impressionist has grabbed the megaphone multiple times, I think. Oh, all right.
All right, what's up, guy?
So the music has stopped. They're stacking up the chairs. It looks like the rally is officially over. I haven't really heard any thunder. Okay. I haven't really heard any thunder. I think it may be that they're just trying to. Jill did speak. Jill Stein spoke. She spoke just as they were ordered to turn the main power system off because of a threat from the lightning storm. Okay, all right. I'm commenting too much apparently. All right. There aren't any delegates here.
Trey and Kate.
And listen.
Yeah, it's curious because I heard a little bit of thunder, but not a little bit of thunder, but wait on it. All right, they're making an announcement.
We need everybody to start moving towards a shelter that they're creating under Highway 95. If you walk down there, it's just one shelter. Lightning and thunder is coming our way. This is not a safe spot for you guys to be in. So, it's a liability, but it's also for your own safety. We're asking that folks to move forward. And we can, hey guys, we can continue the party under the highway if we all go together. All right? Some of us have to stay behind to clean up. But if you guys want to party all night, at least I will meet you under the bridge. All right. Thank you.
Jill Stein isn't here anymore. She left. see Jill Stein's plan on her tax structure, her tax plan. You can watch an interview she did recently with, I think it's Fox News, where she talks about the need not only to bail students out, but also to end the process of quantitative easing.
Just south of here, I-95.
Okay, I'm gonna end this live stream because I think I need to figure out where I need to go, and I can't film in the rain, so I think I've been here long enough. Are y'all planning to head out this way? Is it?
The underpass is to the left. We're hoping to get our truck down here to load all the stuff. We gotta finish collecting the garbage and folding the chairs.
Okay.
If you're willing to help collect some garbage, we have garbage bags over here. If you're willing to take a few minutes real quick to collect some garbage, we have garbage bags over here.
All right. All right,
Please, can I have your attention? This is really important. Everybody needs to head south, not north. South. To the bridge. South. 2 minutes to your left.
Heading down to the left, going to the bridge. Head down towards my left to the bridge. This area is not safe.
excuse me. Yes. Where is it exactly? Why is no
South, 2 minutes that way. Follow other people who know where they're going.
Nobody else seems to be walking there.
Well, that's what we're trying to get going. They might know.
Okay. Are you guys going to the shelter?
We're going to the metro.
To the metro?
We're just gonna go.
Oh, okay, I see. Right.
I mean, we're gonna walk one way, might as well walk the direction.
Okay.
Right? That sounds all right, right?
They say to go down there.
In that building?
Huh?
In that building?
I think so. I don't really know. It's not really clear.
I heard them say 5 minutes under a freeway.
I don't know. I'm not really sure.
I didn't hear anybody.
Okay, I'm ending it. Sorry. Thank you.
the health emergency that it is and to deploy the necessary resources to fight it. Her plan would invest in some very simple goals. Empower communities to prevent drug use among teenagers. Ensure every person suffering from addiction can obtain comprehensive treatment. Ensure that all first responders carry Narcan, which can stop overdoses from becoming fatal. And prioritize treatment over prison for low-level and nonviolent drug offenses so we can end the era of mass incarceration.
Funny as hell.
Early this year, I introduced an emergency funding bill in the Senate to pay for policing, prevention, treatment, and recovery. But sadly, it was defeated by Republicans. Donald Trump certainly doesn't have a plan to deal with this health epidemic that's gripped our country. In fact, Donald Trump doesn't seem to know what's happening outside of Trump Tower. And he seems completely uninterested in finding out. How can Trump represent America when he doesn't even take the time to know America? We need a president who listens, who learns, who has empathy, and who wants the same opportunities for all children that she's had, who wants an America where we go forward together. We need President Hillary Clinton. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Demi Lovato.
Like millions of Americans, I am living with mental illness. But I'm lucky. I had the resources and support to get treatment at a top facility.
Talk about what you learned. As Dr. Stein says, we trashed the F-35. Everybody in America could go to public college or university for free for 22 years. Tell that story. Tell it when you get home. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We can turn this around, and we got to take the money from the military. Half of our federal taxes goes to militarism. And the only thing that I agree on, and I used to head the largest peace coalition in this country, the only thing I agree on is taking care of our veterans. And I've served homeless veterans in my community for 30 years. And they wish they weren't there. You know, when I was in Baghdad, 2 days after shocking off, I'm talking to our guys sitting on the tanks, and they're saying, I didn't come here for this. This is wrong. And we've been in that quagmire. We've been in endless war. And we talk about war as a quagmire. Our government has been stuck on stupid for decades. It's got nowhere. So we need the Green Party. Half the countries in the world have more than two parties. Almost all of our allies have multiple parties that work around coalition. We need the Green Party here in the U.S. We need the Green Party to mediate, to build coalitions across that aisle, to move our government off that dime, to move it to serve the people of America, to serve you. Is this what democracy looks like?
This is what democracy looks like.
Is this what democracy looks like?
This is what democracy looks like.
We the people.
We the people.
Peace.
Peace.
And love.
Make sure you follow our coverage, of course, on television, online, CNNPolitics.com, and follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook. We are here.
return your bus. 215 City Hall. Thank you. Make sure y'all come there. There's a lot of confusion around it. Yeah. If we can, or already showed up. The company down here wants to come this way. Everyone wants to stop. Yeah. They're terrible.
You know, it's really a kind of very cushy. In the back, there's a beautiful.
Let me run it on you some more. Yeah. Because every time we talk about Greens to our families and our friends, they bring up the boogeyman, the spoiler effect. Right. That was a damn lie. The Democratic Official Party Report pointed to the mid-states and Gore's loss in the mid-states and his own loss in Tennessee. And it was the National Rifle Association that kicked his butt. But beyond that, so many Democrats didn't vote. So many Democrats who voted for Clinton didn't vote for Gore. How can you blame us? Half the people in this country don't vote. How can you blame us? Don't take that. Take that message back. When somebody brings up the spoiler effect, tell them it was a myth. Tell them it was a myth. It's not true. And if you want to get down to it, today, the political polls list categories of swing voters and undecided voters. And each of those parties goes to try to get those voters. Don't they? Yeah. So either everybody is a spoiler or there are no spoilers. This is a free country. We have a right to the democracy and the government we want.
The only thing they can blame you for is having too strong a candidate.
So get past that. Get past that spoiler effect. Let them know. Remember what I said, please. Because then we can start talking the truth. Then we can start changing our communities. Then we can start turning this crap over. Trump, look, good God, y'all. What is he good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again now. Trump, good God, y'all. What is he good for? Absolutely nothing. Hillary, good God, y'all. What is he good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again now. Hillary, good God, y'all. What is he good for? Absolutely nothing.
Bien, Cintia. Gracias por preguntar, gracias por saludar también.
And George.
Of our nation's greatest national treasures, the Everglades.
The Obama administration has invested $2.2 billion in restoration efforts. In addition to protecting the primary source of drinking water for more than a third of Florida's population, these efforts are helping ensure that the Florida Everglades, a major driver of the local economy, are resilient to effects of climate change. The effects of climate change can no longer be denied or ignored. Last year was the planet's warmest year recorded, and 14 of the 15 hottest years on record have happened this century. All over the country, Americans are already facing devastating impacts. From severe floods to extreme heat, these impacts pose major economic, public health, and national security threats. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Senator Jeff Merkley from Oregon.
Hello, Philadelphia, and hello, Oregon. Wasn't Demi Lovato great? I'm the son of a millwright from a small town in southern Oregon. I was the first in my family to go to college. I live in the same blue-collar community I grew up in, and my children go to the same public schools I did. Here is the truth. Donald Trump got rich by taking advantage of Americans like the hard-working Oregonians in my community back home, making his products overseas, hiring foreign workers instead of Americans for jobs that are right here in the United States, cheating small business contractors, never paying them what he owed, and scamming people out of their savings through his fraudulent university. Where I come from, people like Donald Trump are not the problem. They're not the solution. They are the problem.
Yeah! Jail, not hell! Jail, not hell! Jail, not hell! Yay, Cornell! We love you, Cornell!
Thank you, Cornell! Cornell West! Chris Hedges! Cornell West!
Chris Hedges, Cornell West! Chris Hedges, Cornell West! Chris Hedges, Cornell West! Chris Hedges, Cornell West! Chris Hedges, Cornell West!
All right, wow. Okay, here we are again. Yeah, you are too beautiful. You are so wonderful. You are changing the world right now as we speak. You have caused thunder and lightning and the heavens to open up and cool us down. So, wow, this has been such an amazing beginning to an amazing week where we are changing the world together. We are coming together here, outside of the DNC. Inside the DNC, they are looking for unity. They will not find unity inside the DNC. Not with Hillary. But we will find unity here. Unity for people, for planet, and for peace over profit. We cannot achieve one unless we achieve them all.
Right.
We must have a world that works for everyday people with living wages, with a job as a human right, as they call for in the Poor People's Economic Human Rights Campaign. We must have those jobs, and those jobs can transform our economy. We can have health care as a human right for everyone. How do we do that? We just cut out that $500 billion every year going into paper pushing, red tape, bureaucracy, bloated CEO salaries. Instead, we put those dollars into true health care. Everybody in, nobody out, head to toe, cradle to grave, everything, your medications, your mental health, your reproductive health care, which is between you and your health care provider. Nobody is telling you what can be covered. These are independent decisions, whether it's your reproductive health or your mental health. We need a health care system designed for people, not for profit. That's what's wrong. And as much as the Affordable Care Act has been a help, we could have done that without having given away the store to the pharmaceutical companies and created a captured market for the insurance companies. We need an improved Medicare for all healthcare system. Let me say a quick word about immigration, because I didn't have a chance when we were rushing in the tent. And this is such a critical issue.
must we create a welcoming path to citizenship for the immigrants who have always been at the core of our economies, our community, and our culture. We should be celebrating. We are all immigrants on this bus. And it's time to respect all of our immigrants who've come here. And so many of them have come here as refugees, in fact. So we say one of the most important things we can do to solve this crisis of immigration is to stop causing the crisis in the first place. We say to Donald Trump, we don't need no friggin' wall, we just have to stop invading other countries. And we can stop that war on drugs, which is creating violence around the world, forcing people to come here to flee that violence. And we can stop the coups and the death squads that we have been training that have overturned other democracies, especially south of the border. Where is it that so many of the refugees are coming from now? From Honduras, from Guatemala, from El Salvador, all democracies that we, the United States, in our wisdom, have helped overturn. We say, let's end this messing and interfering and overturning other democracies. Let's support democracy around the world. And we know who one of the proponents of these regime changes is. I mean, none other than the Democratic Party presidential nominee, Hillary Clinton herself. No one is more of a warmonger than Hillary Clinton herself. When people say, aren't you frightened of Donald Trump? I say, yes, I will feel terrible if Donald Trump is elected, but I will also feel terrible if Hillary Clinton is elected. And I feel most terrible about a political system that tells us we have only two deadly choices and pick your weapon of self-destruction. We say no to that political system. And I want you to go away from here armed with the knowledge that we can fix that crisis right now as well. We can fix our voting system to solve this problem of the greater evil and the lesser evil and voting your fears. We actually can take the fear out of voting altogether. It would take our legislatures about 24 hours to pass a definitive solution here called ranked choice voting. Have you heard of it? Some have. Okay. It allows you to rank your choices for president. Or it could be for governor or mayor, other single office elections. So you can vote your hopes and your values as your first choice, and you can vote a safety candidate as your second choice. It ends any possibility of splitting the vote or spoiling the election. It's already used in cities around the country, from San Francisco and Oakland to the Twin Cities to Portland, Maine, and it's used in countries around the world. This is what we should be doing instead of telling political opposition to go away and be silent. If you eliminate political opposition, we have a name for that. That is called tyranny. The United States has been in the habit of invading such countries that suppress political opposition. But that's what they are doing when they say, you are a spoiler, get out of the race, be silent. In other words, make an undemocratic system even more undemocratic by further silencing political opposition. The truth of the matter is, the lesser evil does not solve the crisis, because in voting for the lesser evil, we silence ourselves. We say, oh, let's be quiet on our values. so that we don't rock the boat. But what happens is that you then get a lesser evil president who's been throwing people under the bus. People no longer come out to vote for that president or his party. So what happened? Congress flipped. First one house went from blue to red, and then the other house of Congress went from blue to red. This is what happens with the lesser evil. It paves the way to the greater evil. So it is an illusion. It is a propaganda campaign that this is a solution. It is not. It is an intimidation campaign to prevent us from standing up and breaking the stranglehold of the big corporations, of the fossil fuel giants, of the predatory banks, of the war profiteers. They are the ones who have their hands around U.S. policy, who are making out like bandits, why we the people in this country and we the people around the world are being thrown under the bus. Well, we say we've had enough of that system. We are standing up.
Enough!
You are standing up. You are leading the way. You have created an absolute miracle that we are seeing playing out today. How many were at the rally this afternoon? It was incredible. I heard it reported on the news, and you know how they described it? They described it as a rally for Bernie Sanders and other causes. They do not want to name what is going on here. That the Bernie Sanders movement is being reborn. It is continuing, but it's continuing in a liberated form outside of a counter-revolutionary party that has been revealed in all of its treachery through these dastardly emails. This Bernie movement has liberated itself, has liberated all of us by coming together. This is where the unity exists, outside of the DNC. Over the course of these next many days, we will continue to be meeting and talking. As we go, we will be brainstorming, and when we will be huddling, how we continue to build this revolution for the long haul into November. And I want to reassure you, there are 42 million young people who are locked into predatory student loan debt. And we are going to cancel that debt like we did for the friggin' bankers who crashed the economy. If we could bail out the crooks on Wall Street, it's about time we bailed out their victims holding predatory student loan debt. You were enticed into these loans with the promise of good jobs. Well, we don't have those jobs because Wall Street crashed the economy. So they have torn up the contract. It's over and done. You shouldn't be carrying the burden of the contract because they already violated that contract. We say it's over. And forget the guilt trip. In my view, a responsible generation of parents does not say to the younger generation, we're throwing you into the economy. Good luck. We hope you learn how to swim in this ocean of the economy. No, that's not how it works. You have a right to education. You have a right to higher education because it's essential in order to survive in the economy of the 21st century. So no apologies. And by the way, it pays for itself. For every dollar that we put in
When I was 4 years old, my mother and I climbed into a raft, and we crossed the river to join my father in America in search of a better life. All I had was a little doll. I grew up like an ordinary girl. My dad worked as a landscaper,
and my mom stayed at home with my brother and I. But while my friends did ordinary things, I couldn't, because my parents were afraid that someone might discover I was undocumented. My family believed so deeply in the promise of this country that we risked everything for the American dream. As an undocumented student, I felt like college was out of reach. But after a journey of 10 years, I finally graduated from Nevada State College. My family and I are here because of people like Senator Harry Reid, mi abuelito, who put themselves in our shoes and helped us. And while President Obama's immigration action protected me, we live in constant fear that my parents could be taken away from their grandson, Noah. So when Donald Trump talks about deporting 11 million people, he's talking about ripping families apart, separating families like mine and like Carla's. Hillary Clinton understands that this is not who we are as a country. I have seen her comfort children like Carla who are scared that they might lose their parents to deportation. I know she will fight to keep our families together. Nuestras familias. I know she will.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Representative Luis Gutierrez from Illinois.
Hello, Philadelphia. You know, my parents grew up in San Sebastián del Pepino in rural Puerto Rico. They weren't educated, they didn't speak English, but they didn't even have a winter coat. Barely out of their teens, they came to the U.S. when I was born in the great city of Chicago. My parents were born American citizens, but when they moved, along with 500,000 other Puerto Ricans in the 1950s, they were greeted with scorn and discrimination. Politicians called them criminals. They said my parents were dangerous, diseased, and would ruin the country. Sound familiar to you tonight? Nobody spoke up against the bigotry and hatred my parents endured. So you better believe I'm using my voice against the discrimination we hear today. I will raise my voice against the bigot who thinks a judge born in Indiana can't do his job because his parents were born in Mexico. I'll raise my voice against a bully who calls hard-working immigrants criminals and rapists. Someone who promises to round up and deport families, millions of families, and then put up a wall between them and us. You have joined me in that fight, and so has Hillary Clinton. She stands with us so Americans remain and America remains a welcoming nation. We don't discriminate because of what you look like, who you love, how you pray, what language your parents speak, or where you were born. But let's be clear. My parents, when they came from Puerto Rico, weren't the only ones to confront discrimination. Every generation of newcomers, whoever and whatever they come from, Latin America, Europe, Africa, Asia, the Middle East, they're met with skepticism and suspicion. but every generation proves the skeptics wrong. Immigrants contribute to our communities and make America a great nation. Immigrants die defending our democracy. And you know what? They give our founding principles meaning in our time. Every time immigrants are labeled as them, but over time, they become part of us, we the people. About 11 million undocumented immigrants live, work, pay taxes, and raise their families in the United States of America. A lot of their families include U.S. citizens just like me. But listen, no matter what your family tree looks like, a fair immigration system is better for all of America. No matter what others say, it is simply a fantasy that we're going to round up and deport 11 million people. It's a sick, hateful fantasy. But let me tell you what gives me hope. In her heart, Hillary Clinton's dream for America is one where immigrants are allowed to come out of the shadows, get right with the law, pay their taxes, and not feel fear that their families are going to be ripped apart. When Hillary Clinton steps to this podium to accept the nomination, we'll all take a giant step forward. The broad and diverse America that fights for an inclusive and fair nation, our union of black and brown, white and African, and Asian people who love the earth and know that climate change is real and value education. We will all step up to that podium with her. Listen, we continue the work of our heroes like John Lewis and Dolores Huerta, Cesar Chavez, and Dr. Martin Luther King.